Good morning, and thank you for joining us at Renewable Exchange for this webinar on timing the PPA market to maximise revenue from your generation assets. I'm Martha, Head of Client Success, and we're also joined by Nadira, who is our lead data analyst and expert in our in-platform insights and the data that drives our PPA forecasts. Over the next 25 minutes, we're going to talk you through an overview of why it's important to time the market when it comes to locking in your PPA, thinking about the components of a PPA and power market and off-taker volatility, and how the Renewable Exchange platform can help you to monitor and time the market, including a demo from Rick, our tech lead, on our new Insights feature, which was released last month. There'll then be 5 to 10 minutes for a Q&A at the end of the session, so please stay on if you have questions. Nadira and I will endeavour to answer them, and for anything we don't have time for, we can come back to you individually. You can ask questions as you think of them during the session, so don't feel you need to wait until the end to share these. Please just add the questions to the chat channel. Before we jump into timing the markets, for those of you who are new to Renewable Exchange, we're the UK's largest PPA marketplace with almost 3,000 PPAs contracted to date. We were founded by Rob Ogden in 2016 to really bring a for the generator tool to the market to help generators to get the best price for their power. And we do this by connecting renewable energy generators to the whole market of buyers, enabling a competitive bidding process for power that is streamlined through our technology. And through a combination of market and proprietary data, our PPA forecast and in-platform insights enable generators to make informed decisions on the best time to tender, which is the area we'll be digging into with you today. So why is it important to time the market? We can see from behavioural data that typically generators contract their utility PPA in a short window just before renewal, and this is despite the fact that a new contract can be agreed for the next period at any point during the existing one. And within a tight window, a generator is very much in the hands of the power market in that moment and less likely to be able to capture a power price peak. And this is significant when we come to think about the components of a PPA bid shown here on the graph. The PPA bid is made up of the commodity cost, shown as the baseload here, and there are a number of non-commodity components as well, such as certificates, embedded benefits, and it's the commodity baseload component which makes up the majority share of what a generator receives per megawatt hour for their power. And this means that PPA revenue can be hugely affected by the price of power, which can go up and down significantly across a day or across the year. So if we look into this a bit more, to demonstrate this further, looking back at power prices over an example 4-month period, this graph shows indicative price movements between June and September this year, so we can start to understand a bit more about volatility in the different forces at play. And in this example, if we were to look at a typical 5 megawatt onshore wind asset, if this generator had contracted at the peak of the market in June versus the trough at the start of July, they would have made over £300,000 more in revenue across a 1-year PPA. So what's causing the market to move? We can look at some of the factors impacting the market within the same period. So thinking about the run-up to June, the sharp upward movement of the market was largely a result of the escalation of the Israel-Iran conflict, alongside the risk of closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which accounts for 20% of global LNG flows, and Norwegian gas flow reductions due to maintenance. Coming then into the period running up to July, we saw the market drop off steeply. The main drivers of this downwards movement were Israel-Iran ceasefire, which eased regional tensions. The EU 90% gas storage target was relaxed by 2 months, expanding target dates from the 1st of October to the 1st of December. And we saw that there was really strong UK wind and solar generation, flooding the power market with renewables in the UK. Then from July onwards, up to kind of mid-July, the main drivers of this less sharp upwards movement was the European heatwave, which increased cooling demand and reduced French nuclear availability. This alongside strong solar output, which was offset by a sharp drop in wind generation. And skipping forward from the start to the mid-August, we saw another downward movement in the market. So Trump-Putin talks in Alaska provided market optimism over economic collaboration. High levels of EU gas storage, 73.5% by mid-August. And we saw that there was a rebound in wind generation in the UK. Finally, and coming into the period up to the start of September, the slight upwards movement we saw a result of the Trump-Putin resolution hopes fading, the start of a heavier North Sea gas maintenance period. Hurricane Erin impacted US LNG deliveries, and French nuclear output was again impacted by the heat. On top of the power price volatility and the reasons we were just looking at, there's also volatility in what off-takers will offer to pay for power, and this is based on their energy procurement strategies. On the chart here, each colour represents a different off-taker and their percentage of winning bids on the platform, and you can see that this changes significantly month to month, demonstrating the variation in off-taker competitiveness throughout a year. And this means we can see it's important to tender to as many off-takers as possible in order to receive the best offer for your PPA. So with the geopolitical, environmental, technical factors at play alongside this changing off-taker appetite, it can become difficult to predict the market, but you can monitor the market and take informed action, and that's where we are here to help. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Nadira, who will talk to you about how you can use the platform to secure the best price for your PPA. Over to you, Nadira.
Thanks, Martha. Yeah, so like Martha says, I'm just going to be talking to you about how our platform can help you to both monitor those market movements as well as react really quickly. So to start, we're going to start by playing a video with a member of our tech team, Rick, who's going to demo the new insights dashboard within the platform and some of those market insights.
Hello, I'm Rick, one of the team at Renewable Exchange, and I'm going to take you through a few of the big changes to the platform that help generators understand the power markets and how they can make more from their power. From the dashboard on the side navigation panel, click on Insights. Here you can see two tabs, Power Market Update and Power Prices. I'm going to start on the second tab, which gives you information on power prices. At the top left, we have the IMRP GB day ahead price. This can go back up to the end of June 2016 if you use the custom date range toggle below the chart. And to the right here is a chart that shows negative price periods in Great Britain by month. Both of these charts are important to generators with CFD assets. Below is the system sell price chart. This information is important to those who have an out-of-contract rate set with their off-taker, or those on a variable PPA contract tracked to the SSP. Now I'll move on to the Power Market Update tab. The PPA Composite Index is updated every day, and it shows the power component of an average PPA in pounds per megawatt hour across Great Britain, looking back over a period of 3 months, or if you click here, 1 month. The latest price is shown on the right side of the graph, and this is for a PPA start date in the next 2 quarters and the following year. Each vertical grey line on the composite index indicates one of our power market updates. These are weekly summaries of the events that are contributing to the upwards and downward power price movements. And to the right, you can see the movement of the PPA Composite Index since the last power market update. If you click on one of the lines and scroll down, you can see the power market update summary written below. This shows you the weekly change for each seasonal period and a summary of the factors affecting power prices. If you aren't going to log into the platform to check prices regularly, click on the button here to get the power market update sent to your email weekly. And above this, we have the REGO forward curve, which is a premium insight showing the price of REGOs over the next 4 compliance periods. To access this, just click here and you have the option of starting a 14-day free trial. Thank you for watching. If you'd like any more information, please get in touch with your point of contact at Renewable Exchange or go to the contact page on our website, renewable.exchange.
Brilliant. So hopefully that gave you a nice overview of the Insights dashboard and how that can help you to time the market. Everyone with an asset on our platform also has access to their own daily site-specific PPA forecast for free, allowing you to track the market a bit more easily. So this is an accurate estimate of the price that you will get for each megawatt hour of power if you went to the market today with your site. So this considers all the components, including the commodity price, REGOs, individual embedded benefits, charges, and any relevant subsidies. So by default, we update this daily for contracts covering 6 months, 1, 2, and 3 year durations, all starting the renewal date that you've got set in the platform. And if you've got an existing contract, you can also compare this to the different forecasts over the different periods as shown on this slide. Below the graph at the bottom of the slide, you should be able to see that you have an option to set a target price. So when your daily forecast surpasses this target price, you will get notified, and it just allows you to respond to market movements really quickly and time the market better. So our site-specific forecasts are powered by our PPA pricing engine. So every day, our pricing engine calculates PPA price forecasts for thousands of assets that we have on the platform. And over the years, we've had over 30,000 bids come through tenders on our platform across 30 different off-takers. So this data is used to continually monitor and calibrate our pricing methodology to most accurately reflect the live market. We evaluate the accuracy of our pricing methodology by monitoring the top bid rating. So we define this as the top bid value on a tender divided by our forecast for that tender. And we aim to keep this as close to 100% as possible. Now, as you can see on the graph, over the last 4 quarters, we've consistently maintained this really close to 100%, just showing how highly accurate this live view of your site-specific forecast is, and therefore how you can rely on it to time the market. So for larger generators, we also have a lot of portfolio functionality where you can easily group assets into portfolios, and this should help you to streamline PPA forecasting, tendering, and reporting. At this level, you can monitor PPA forecasts against multiple assets to get a daily estimate of the PPA price for each portfolio. And as a user, you can decide whether this is a volume-weighted average or evenly across each site in your portfolio. So we also support target prices at the portfolio level. This works similarly to the site-specific target prices. If the average forecast for the portfolio crosses this target price threshold, you again will be notified. You can also view your hedge position, which you should be able to see in the bottom right-hand corner of the slide, and the subsequent revenue estimate by off-taker, technology, or power product, whichever view you'd like to choose. If you'd like help setting a hedging strategy or creating portfolios on the platform, please don't hesitate to get in touch with your point of contact at Renewable Exchange or contact Martha to set up a demo session. So as you should have seen in the video with Rick, he introduced our REGO forward curve, which is now integrated into our Insights dashboard. This is a premium insight. It's a subscription service that we offer, and it helps you to track the REGO market. So our REGO forward curve gives a fair market view of the price of REGOs for the front 4 compliance periods. And this is defined across 2 groups. We've got wind, solar, hydro in one group, and then other technology types such as biomass and anaerobic digestion. So there's 3 data sources for our REGO forward curve. The primary data source is our market participant survey. This goes out to traders and brokers who are active in the REGO market and gets their weekly live view. Secondly, we have our proprietary bidding data. So we have thousands of bids come through the platform where we can see the price at which off-takers are bidding for REGOs across many different off-takers, which gives us also a very live view of REGO prices associated with PPAs. Finally, we validate this data using publicly available data at the time. So this data can be used for a number of applications, including investment models, updating NAVs, managing the trading of REGOs, ESG commitments, and mark-to-market of REGO positions. Please note that the data shown on the screen here is dummy data for the purposes of this presentation. If you want to view the real data, any generators with a platform account are eligible to start their free trial within the platform, or if you'd like to activate your subscription, you can also do that within the platform. So hopefully that's given a nice overview of how our insights and target price functionality can help you to time the market better. Martha's going to talk a bit about our Lightning PPA now and how that can help to capitalise on that timing with speed.
Thanks, Nadira. As a final point on time in the market, as Nadira mentioned, I wanted to highlight our Lightning PPA agreement, which some of you will be familiar with. So 70% of the PPAs contracted through us went through Lightning PPA this year. It's our standard set of industry recognised contract terms. And it means that once you've chosen a winning bid through the platform, the Lightning PPA can be signed in just a few minutes or be sent via send to sign to be signed by someone within your organisation. And that means that having timed the market, the contracting process won't slow down your ability to take advantage of any of those short-lived market peaks. So a whistle-stop tour of time in the market. Before we jump into the Q&A, just to say thank you for listening. I hope it's been insightful. If you aren't yet using the Renewable Exchange platform to monitor the market, please do get in touch with us using the contact details on the screen here. If you are an existing customer and you have any questions about the new Insights feature or about tendering, anything else at all, please just get in touch.